Hardcore. Hardcore is for somebody that's gone through the seminar. That's the
basic castle.
The basic sample, just like you have, and it wants to know definitively how the thought process, the strategy behind the motivated seller and the acquisition model. And we get into divestitures. We also get into other more sophisticated M&A strategies. But we've got guys worth $100 million that don't know but one strategy. Motivated seller, free cash flow, covering debt service, period, full stop. But I mean, you don't grow a $1 billion organization without getting more sophisticated than that. And we obviously have them. But that's what the hardcore is for, and it's over at Christmas. And our hardcore is by accident. 2 Easters ago, I'm standing in front of the regular seminar, and one of the kids said, "Mr. Peña, do you realize today's Easter Sunday?" I look around the room and go, "Really?" And I said, "You mean Good Friday was the day before, 2 days ago?" Fuck, we missed Good Friday, okay. And then I said, I wonder if I give a seminar over Christmas, we'd have any interest whatsoever. Within 48 hours, I had a couple hundred requests to sign up for a seminar that hadn't been formed yet. Because contrary to what you might think, a lot of people don't like Christmas. They think it's downtime. And a lot of people don't like opening presents with their little shithead kids, contrary to what you might think. And that's probably some of your problems. Your dad didn't like opening up presents with you either. And it was pretty fucking obvious. And so the hardcore was born. So then I had to develop a seminar. And what we do is we do between 32 and 40 case studies. We do 7 or 8 case studies from Harvard, Yale, Oxford Graduate School, the classic, like a AOL Time Warner merger, okay? And then everybody that comes to the hardcore brings at least 2 cases, either 2 cases they had failed on, 2 cases they were successful on. How could I have done this case more better is not good English, but better. And so we go between 32 and 40 cases. And when you go to Harvard or you go to the B schools like our youngest son Derek has, you cover about 30, 35 cases in 2 years. We do it in 9 or 10 days.
The most epic event of this century, the Oscar for high ticket closers. Closers in Black, 2019. The $50 billion man, Dan Peña, the king of high ticket sales, Dan Locke. Get your ticket today. Don't you also have breakout rooms?
Oh yeah. We divide the 20 kids into 4 breakout rooms, 5. So they're in 4 different places around the castle. And in the morning I pontificate, we answer questions, then we break out. Then I go from breakout room to breakout room and I sit and listen to them and I make corrections. Did you think of this? Did you think of that?
Right.
And then after lunch we get back together again. And then at night, before they go to their evening meal, for 2 hours, they start presenting the cases because we only give them a few hours. We don't give them 2 years. And so we go through that for 9 or 10 days, and they go through the cases. And this last time, we had guys that had run successful billion-dollar conglomerates. We had a few MBAs. We had we had one plumber that's got a 5th grade education. By the way, our Hall of Fame has an 80 IQ guy who did a $400 million deal. We have a 180 IQ guy that did a $40 million deal. 80 IQ, 180 IQ, 400 million versus 40 million. Has nothing to do with IQ, has nothing to do with degrees. What it has to do is the 80 IQ guy had a heart as big as this room and worked like a dog. Like a dog. The last hardcore seminar, not the one that just ended a couple weeks ago, but the one before that, then they go through a mentor program, they go through Zoom calls. We also have Zoom calls once a month. You missed the Zoom calls.
Shit.
Yeah. And when they say you were the lucky one, see, that's what they say. I hear that all the time. And
I won the Zoom call, Dan.
and from the time that they left the hardcore to their last Zoom call, which was November of last year.
Wow.
They'd done 19 deals. We had one guy had bought 5 hospitals. He's following what is called the Rick Scott derivative
Correct.
of QLA, because Rick Scott is a mentee.
Yes.
He's currently the senator in the great state of Florida, and he built the largest healthcare company in the world, Columbia Healthcare, over a 7-year period, amounting to about $30 billion. So there's a Rick Scott sliver off. There's Protestants, and then there's Lutherans. Well, they're following the Lutheran model, which is specifically just geared to hospitals, and with no money, none of his own money. The thing that they all have in common, no matter what they chase, no money do they have, 0. Which is, of your following is closer, your following is closer to that end of the continuum than your end of the continuum, the no money, and it's out there.